All right, another technique that you can use that I consider an advanced technique is to incorporate what I call partial reps into your routine. And an example of a partial rep would be limiting your range of motion. We all have a part of a motion that we're weaker than others. I'll keep using the bench press because I know all of you meatheads can relate to the bench press. So we'll stick with mostly bench press and bicep curls for my example exercises. But a bench press, a partial rep, a lot of us, we have trouble at the bottom of that movement. That's a real sticking point for a lot of us. If it weren't for that weak couple inches right off our chest, we'd probably be able to bench 50 more pounds on our personal best for a 1 rep max. So what we do is we take that limiting part of that range of motion out of our movement, and now we can add a little bit more weight or do more reps with some heavier weight. So whereas maybe 275 would be difficult for an individual to get maybe 8 reps with, maybe they're only getting 5 or 4 reps with 275. Maybe by taking that very difficult part of that range of motion out of the exercise and just coming down halfway, okay? And I know the form police will have a big problem with partial reps because, well, you're not doing a full range of motion. There's a time and a place for partial reps, and advanced training is definitely the time and place for that. So again, if you're struggling with that bottom couple inches on a bench press, or maybe extending your bicep all the way to where it's full extension, it's hard to get the weight up past just that initial couple inches. That's why we end up cheating, and then we're able to finish the exercise or the rep. It's just simply a partial rep is removing that part of the movement, part of that range of motion that is limiting us with what we can do. So the individual that could only do 4 or 5 reps with 275 on the bench press, now we take that limiting range of motion out and just do the part where they're the strongest. Well, it's true that the range of motion has been limited, but the amount of tension, the amount of stress that is applied to the muscle group that we're focusing on is greater, because you're still gonna get a high amount of tension applied to the muscle you're working, even if the range of motion is not as great. So, on that same note, you can actually prevent some injuries from occurring by using heavier weights and not going through a full range of motion, typically where an injury may occur. So it's not that I suggest that we don't do full range of motion most of the time. It's that I'm suggesting maybe at the end of your big lift, at the beginning of your routine, or to even finish a routine, maybe incorporating a set of just partial repetitions towards the end, just for a little extra. But yeah, I definitely am not advocating that we remove full range of motion from your workouts, just as a way to get a little extra, a little bit more advanced. And I certainly don't recommend that people that are just starting out start increasing the amount of weight that they're using and limiting the range of motion. That's the exact opposite of what a new person should be doing in the gym. So that's partial reps, and I'll give you some examples of those